A few years back, during a holiday that should have been nothing but joy, I found myself in a whirlwind of magic, worry, and an unexpected homecoming. It all began in the whimsical, yet treacherous, wooden forest, a place where the trees whispered ancient secrets and the air crackled with untamed magic. My friend Doris and I, both clad in our familiar wizarding school robes, were charting the less traveled paths, our spirits high with the thrill of discovery. The forest was a kaleidoscope of magical flora and fauna, each more enchanting than the last, but in a moment of sheer carelessness, a distracted flicker of my own magic, burst, a scent of light I had been practicing, went astray. It struck Doris squarely in the chest, and the light in her eyes dimmed as she collapsed, the forest's whispers turning into a symphony of alarm. Panic seized me as I carried Doris's still form back to the castle. The school infirmary, usually a place of calm and healing, felt like a chamber of dread. Laying her gently on a cot, I saw the pain, shallow breaths she took, and a wave of guilt washed over me. I couldn't just stand by. I raced to the potion room, my heart pounding a frantic rhythm against my ribs. The shelves were a dizzying array of colorful liquids and strange ingredients, each bottle a potential cure or a terrible mistake. My hands trembled as I scanned the labels, frantically searching for a healing potion, a counter curse, anything that could undo the damage my foolish mistake had caused. The air was thick with the scent of herbs and simmering concoctions, but all I could smell was my own fear. The days that followed were a blur of anxiety. My mind was a constant storm of worry for Doris, making it impossible to focus. In class, the simplest of spells fizzled at my fingertips, and the intricate patterns of tarot cards swam before my eyes, offering no clarity, only confusion. The professor's words were a distant drone, lost in the echo of my own self-reproach. The school library became my sanctuary and my prison. Night after night, I buried myself in mountains of music, hidden tones, the flickering candlelight casting long, dancing shadows on the towering shelves. The pages were filled with complex theories and forgotten remedies, but a solution remained elusive. Exhaustion etched itself onto my face as I pored over diagrams of magical energy flows and obscure potion recipes, determined to find a way to help my friend. As the day shortened and a chill settled over the castle grounds, the great hall transformed into a winter wonderland. Towering Christmas trees, adorned with glittering baubles and enchanted fairies, reached for the star-dusted scene. The festive atmosphere, however, did little to lift my spirits. Doris was recovering, thankfully, but was still weak. We sat by a crackling fireplace, the conversation turning to our holiday plans. The thought of returning home brought a familiar pang of anxiety. We both dreaded the fire transport network, a dizzying, soot-filled journey that always left us disoriented. The fear of that swirling green flame was a shared childhood terror that even our magical education hadn't managed to quell. When the day of departure arrived, I stood before the grand fireplace in the common room, my travel bag clutched tightly in my hand. Taking a deep breath, I threw the powder into the flames, shouted my destination, and stepped into the roaring emerald inferno. The world dissolved into a dizzying vortex of green and black. But this time, I held my focus, picturing my family's cozy living room. I stumbled out onto a hearth, coughing but triumphant, to the sight of my parents' beaming faces. They were a middle-aged couple, dressed in their simple, non-magical clothes. Their expressions a mixture of pride and pure, unadulterated joy. They couldn't understand the complexities of my world, but their unconditional love was the most powerful magic I knew. That Christmas was one I'll never forget. Our humble dinner was transformed into a feast fit for a king, all thanks to a few spells I had finally mastered. Enchanted candles floated serenely above the table, casting a warm, golden glow on our faces. Dishes served themselves, gliding through the air to land perfectly. I remember we watched with wide-eyed wonder. My father laughed, a deep, hearty sound that filled the room, while my mother's eyes sparkled with a happiness that outshone any enchanted light. Seeing their delight, I realized that magic wasn't just about complex spells or grand adventures. It was about creating moments of joy and connection with the people you love. That holiday, I didn't just come home for Christmas. I brought the magic home with me.